Hey guys, Stephanie here from Two Girls One Cut, and welcome back to part 2. We are going to be using the shadow bordered text from part 1 to create a knockout in video part 2. As always, the Two Girls One Cut reference document is going to be linked in the video description. We are under the using Inkscape for text borders, and if you go ahead and click on this link here, it's going to open up a new tutorial for you, and we are going to be using Inkscape to make a knockout text. All right, you're going to want to follow the part 1 instructions to create your bordered text to begin with. And now what you're going to do to make your knockout text is we're going to go ahead and select this text box tool again and create a new text box. Then type in the text that you want to use for your background. Again, select that text, and up here we're going to choose the font that we want to use. Now we can go ahead and select that arrow tool. We're going to turn this into an object. So click Path, Object to Path. We want to go ahead and click on Object and use the Ungroup tool. Again, you can click on any of these letters here and move them around individually, but if you're okay with where they are, go ahead and click Path and then Union. So those are the same first steps we used for a text in part 1. Now that we have our text the way that we want it, you'll notice that it actually is on the top layer. We want it in the background. So what I find is easiest to do is select your original text with the shadow, right click on that, and you're going to select Move to Layer. Click Layer 1 and hit Move, and now you'll notice that is on top. It's also much bigger than our background text, so now we need to figure out what size we want, and I'm going to go ahead and select the background text. So we're going to use this little dotted arrow tool here to select our background. Then you can choose the arrow again. If you want to maintain the dimensions of your original text, just make it larger. You want to hit Control Shift on your Windows PC. You can make it larger that way. And then my background font is very short compared to my foreground with the shadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this bottom arrow and make this a little bit taller. And then I could use my arrow keys to adjust and fine tune. So now that we have this aligned the way that we want, we need to get the front text out. We're only going to be using the shadow to create the knockout. So click anywhere to unselect that background text. Then we're going to use this Edit Paths tool and select just the front, which in this case is the Two Girls One Cut in Black. Select that and then choose the arrow, and then you can use your arrow keys to move that out of the way. Once that is out of the way, we're going to go ahead and make our shadow. So go ahead and select all of your background text and your shadow, and then we're going to go to Path, and then we are going to choose Difference, and that creates our knockout. Now that we have our knockout completed, we're going to go ahead and select the Two Girls One Cut, which is our front text. You can change the color of that if you like. You can also change all of the colors in Design Space as well. It's going to maintain these as 2 separate layers. And that is how you create a knockout using Inkspace. Make sure you hit Save here. Again, this is going to save as an SVG that you can upload into Cricut Design Space. Please be sure to like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel. Share this video with any of your friends interested in these lessons as well.